Thanksgiving at Grandma's house always felt like stepping into a warm hug. The smell of turkey filled every corner. Kids ran around playing tag. Adults laughed over wine in the living room. But this year something felt different. My Uncle Richard kept staring at me from across the room with this weird smirk on his face. Like he knew something I didn't. Like he was waiting for the perfect moment to strike. I ignored it and helped Grandma set the table, trying to enjoy the day. We all sat down to eat around the big wooden table that Grandma's had forever. There were 20 of us squeezed in tight. Plates clinked. Someone said grace. Everything felt normal. Then Uncle Richard cleared his throat really loud. "Before we start," he said, "I think we should all take a moment to appreciate the people who actually contribute to this family." My stomach twisted. I knew that tone. He wasn't about to say anything kind. Everyone stopped moving and looked at him. Uncle Richard smiled, but it wasn't friendly. "Some of us work hard our whole lives. Build careers. Support our families. Pay our own way." He paused and looked directly at me. "And some of us just coast. Live off other people's generosity." My face got hot. My cousin Emma looked down at her plate. Grandma said, "Richard, not today." But he kept going. "I'm talking about Maya here. Still living with her parents at 25. No real job. Just floating through life on everyone else's dime." The whole table went quiet. My little cousin stopped giggling. My mom's hand squeezed mine under the table. Uncle Richard leaned back in his chair looking so proud of himself. "I mean, we all love you, Maya. But let's be honest. You're kind of a charity case, aren't you?" Some people looked uncomfortable. Others nodded slightly like they agreed. My dad started to say something, but I squeezed his hand to stop him. My heart was pounding, but I wasn't going to let Richard see me cry. Uncle Richard wasn't done. "She dropped out of college. Can't hold down a job. Meanwhile, the rest of us are breaking our backs to make something of ourselves. I just think it's time someone said it out loud." He shrugged like he'd done everyone a favor. My Aunt Linda whispered, "Richard, maybe that's enough." But he ignored her. "What? I'm just being honest. This family needs more honesty." He grabbed his fork and started eating like nothing happened. Like he hadn't just humiliated me in front of everyone. "Please subscribe and drop a comment. The story just begin." I stood up slowly. My chair scraped against the floor. Everyone looked at me. Uncle Richard raised his eyebrows. "What, you're leaving? Can't handle the truth?" His voice was mocking. I reached into my bag and pulled out a folder. My hands were shaking, but my voice was steady. "You want to talk about truth, Uncle Richard? Let's talk about truth." I opened the folder and pulled out 3 documents. Bank statements, loan papers, email printouts. Things I'd been collecting for months after I accidentally found them. I placed the first paper on the table in front of Grandma. "This is a loan agreement from 4 years ago. Uncle Richard borrowed $50,000 from Grandma to start his business." Grandma's eyes went wide. She looked at Richard. "You said that was a gift," she whispered. Richard's face turned red. "Maya, what are you?" I put down the second paper. "This is proof that he never paid her back. Not a single dollar. And he took another $20,000 last year." The room was so silent I could hear people breathing. My mom gasped. My dad stood up. Uncle Richard was stuttering. Those are private, you had no right." I placed the last document down. "And this is an email from your business partner. The one you told everyone abandoned you." "He didn't abandon you, Richard. You stole money from the company account and blamed him when it failed." Richard's perfect life, his fancy car, his big house, his expensive clothes. It was all built on lies and money that wasn't his. Everyone stared at him. His wife looked like she might faint. "You want to call me a charity case?" I said, my voice louder now. "You've been living off Grandma's retirement savings for years. You bankrupted your own business partner. And you have the nerve to sit here and judge me." Richard tried to speak, but nothing came out. His mouth just opened and closed like a fish. Grandma looked at him with tears in her eyes. Richard, is this true? He couldn't even look at her. My Aunt Linda covered her face with her hands. Everyone was staring at him now, not me. Uncle Richard finally found his voice. You don't understand. The business was struggling. I needed help. I was going to pay it all back. Grandma cut him off. 4 years, Richard. For years, and you never said a word. You let me think I was helping you succeed. Her voice cracked. Dad stood up and pointed at the door. I think you should leave. Richard looked around the table for support but found none. Even his own kids wouldn't meet his eyes. He stood up slowly, his face bright red, and walked toward the door without another word. After he left, the room stayed quiet for a minute. Then Grandma reached across the table and took my hand. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. You didn't deserve that. My mom hugged me. My little cousin Mia said, That was so cool, Maya. A few people laughed, breaking the tension. Someone passed the mashed potatoes. Conversations slowly started again. The dinner continued, but everything felt lighter. Like a heavy blanket had been lifted off all of us. I finally took a bite of turkey. It tasted better than anything I'd eaten in months. Later that night, Grandma pulled me aside in the kitchen. How did you find all that? She asked. I told her about finding the papers in her office by accident, about researching everything to make sure I was right before saying anything. She hugged me tight. You're not a charity case, Maya. You're the strongest person here. Smiled. For the first time in years, I actually believed it. That Thanksgiving, I learned something important. Sometimes the people who judge you the loudest are the ones hiding the biggest secrets. And sometimes the truth is the best revenge.